You guys thought that I wasn't gonna stream until next year? Gotcha. Anyway, hi. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I don't really have any special New Year's plans other than, of course, just streaming into the new year. We're gonna stream from now until past midnight. Sorry, I have a bit of a cough right now. Something's been going around and I'm, like, mildly sick, but not sick to the point where it's, like, affecting me. But just expect to hear a couple coughs. I looked at footage of Promethean earlier. Yeah, so... Hello, Theory of Everything Icon. Hello, Zeinvire. Wait, Zeinvire... Is that the Zeinvire? I don't think that's the Zeinvire, actually. That's an unrelated Zeinvire. Let me check. Yeah, that is not the Zeinvire I thought you were for a second. Yeah, so hey GD Icon, hello Zeinvire, hey Adam Olak, hey Michael Blocks, hey Liliac, hello Often Guy, hello Jay the Gamer, hello Sharp, hello Top Hat Guy, hello Simeon John Julim. Did I say hi to Adam? I did. Hello, Super Uniform. Hello, My IRL Stories. Hey, Nard Alexius. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, like I said, no crazy plans. Just gonna go ahead and play some of the Gauntlets. I do have one idea, and I'm not gonna reveal it yet, but no guarantees, because while it's a thing I can usually do consistently, if I do what I'm thinking about doing, the nerves will be so high. The nerves will be insanely high, but whatever. So yeah, no need to delay it. We're getting into the level. Now, you guys remember last stream? The stream went significantly better because I drank an energy drink. I had the energy, right? Well, not only am I not tired at all, because work actually let me out early today as a sort of New Year's Eve gift, so I got to come home an hour early, but also, I have not one, but 2 cans of Orangeade Rockstar Recovery. The same energy drink I had last stream. Hashtag not sponsored. I also have 2 bottles of water. So, all in all, this stream, especially considering I don't work tomorrow, we're gonna fucking go, okay? You should make a video ranking, redoing your Karma L tier list. No comment. So the plan, I think, for this stream is we're going to do the water gauntlet. We're going to finish the last level of that. And then I think I want to do the castle gauntlet. And I want to try to do as much of it as possible in one stream. Because I feel like I could do a lot of the castle gauntlet in one stream. Like, look at this. Crush by Subwoofer. Okay, that might actually take me a little bit, but Glorious... Oh, wow. Okay, I'm realizing I don't like this gauntlet anywhere near as much as I thought I did. Because I hate Glorious Fortress, Rafer level, Castlemania's good, but not very grindy. Like, you can't really grind Castlemania. I mean, I guess it does have a decade-long end screen, but whatever. And, yeah. I hate Glorious Fortress. I know that's controversial. It's more out of preference. I think the level's good. I think it's well made. I just hate it. You know? I don't like it. I've been doing a lot of my spreadsheet work lately. So other than the streams, I haven't beaten a lot off streams. The streams have been where a lot of the rebeats have just been happening. One thing I'm planning on doing, right, is... I actually want to show you guys this, because I want your thoughts on this. So, this is my sheet for my rebeats. I've shown this on stream multiple times. If you've ever gone into my video description, you know of this, right? One thing I've done is I've been sorting a lot of my completions by how long the level is. So, basically, if I go over to... where is it? Yeah, length, right here. You can actually sort them by longest to shortest. So, out of all the stuff that I've currently marked through the rebeats, the Long Walk Home is currently the longest thing I've eaten, and I think that is just generally true. And the shortest thing ranked so far is fucking Xmas Challenge at 12 seconds. So, you know. But the thing is, level lengths are a bit deceptive. Alright? I find that level lengths are very deceptive, because this is based off of, like, say I go into, I don't know, the level, I click play, and then I hit escape, go into the editor, and I pick a high detail level, so I have to wait for it to load, and then I go here. It's based off this length, right? So Soar, 2 minutes 44, so I'd go to my spreadsheet, and I'd see Soar right here, 2 minutes 44, right? That's what it's based off of. But here's kind of the problem with that. You can end up with two levels that are the exact same length, but they are not actually the same length because one has less gameplay than the other. And I'm going to show you my big go-to example for this, okay? Speak You is... This is an old showcase, by the way. Speak You is a 30-second level, right? And most of the gameplay looks like this. But the thing is, Speak You's last click happens... Where is it? It happens at 88, right? Now, there's another level that is the exact same length called Tower Descent. Why did that open my second monitor? Anyway, Tower Descent is also 30 seconds. However, this level, rather interestingly, the last click happens here at 72. So, technically, Tower Descent is a shorter level, right? And so here's the thought. What if I add a second thing to my... Because I don't want to remove the regular level length thing. I think that's a good metric to have. But what if I add a thing and it's like true length, and it accounts for like end screens and stuff? Because I think a common criticism of 2.1 is that a lot of rated levels had like the longest goddamn end screen you can imagine. You know what I mean? Like Sonic Wave Infinity. Like, what if one day I beat Sonic Wave Infinity? That's not gonna happen, but you know. I'm just saying, I think it's a good idea. But yeah, that's just what I've been thinking about. Alright, let's start learning this. I actually don't know how well this is gonna run, but I'm already dropping frames. Do I have any first medium demon recommendations? I don't know. I think level recommendations are generally just bad. Because they encourage you to not think for yourself and... What the fuck? There's a jump ring up there? Hang on. It does nothing. But yeah, I think level recommendations encourage you not to look on your own for levels you like. What I can say is if you want a fun first extreme recommendation, I personally enjoy Reanimation. The fuck? Alright, we're definitely gonna have to do runs on this. I don't know why I say that, I always end up doing runs, but, you know, we have to do it with this one, I think. Okay, admittedly, I always fucking loved this ball for some reason. I mean, this whole part, like... Yeah, this is the part I was interested to see how it'd run. Ah, wow, I really don't remember how to play this. Try boxing boxes if it's still a medium demon. I don't know what that is. Should I just, like... No. God, this part feels so weird. Okay, so I can ride that slow. Okay. That's fucking free if those spikes don't have hitboxes. I love that just kills all the nerves of that part. Oh my god, yeah, you can just hold through there. Look at this, chat. Hold. Actually, I don't even need to let go there. Look at this. Well, you gotta hold the moment you touch the portal, otherwise, yeah. That just works. Was that part nerfed? Because I, for some reason, remember having to do shit during that wave, but I guess not. It begins... Also, I'm glad I can run this in full detail, because that wave, or that not wave part, but that whole, like, there is an auto wave in it, but that whole part before this just looks sick. Yeah, see, here's the issue, right? And this is the issue I've always had with this part. I know that everybody tells you, oh, don't look at the gameplay, just look at the bottom. Treat it like a rhythm game, because it tells you what to do at the bottom, right? But that's not true. That's not true, because you're the robot. Like, it doesn't help at all, because... I mean, not helping is that there's, like, a delay to it, but, like, I'm the robot, so, like, right now I'm only looking at the bottom. That doesn't work, because the robot is... It's more like click, hold, and then click, like, right out of a hold. You wouldn't know to do that, because it's just click, 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 and that's not what you do. So if really, I have to treat this more like a duel... Yeah, and then suddenly he spikes the ball, and when he spikes the ball, you don't jump. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Because I don't play volleyball, right? And so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But if it gets hit twice on the same side, doesn't it, like, have to be two different people who hit it? Otherwise, that's, like, against the rules. Like, you can't just, like, dribble the ball like that. Because I don't know volleyball very well. I don't know the rules, but, like, I'm pretty sure hitting it in the air and then hitting it again to spike it over is, like, not allowed. Alright, cool. The only reason I did that so quickly, by the way, is because I remember beating this before. I will say this, though. This level easily has my favorite ending out of all of these. Like, there's just something so cool about this ending. You know what, with the fireworks, it really is a perfect New Year's level. It ends with fireworks. Yeah, it's just such a cool ending. Like, I don't know what I've said about this level in the past. I don't remember if I've brought it up in videos, right? But, like, I really do like this level. A lot. I just think the volleyball part is fucking stupid. Also, the pinwheel at the end screen, I think this is supposed to resemble, like, the end of, like, Sunny D commercials, if you guys know what I'm talking about. There's just, like, a subtle little thing that I appreciate. I'll show you what I mean. Hold on. I want to find specifically... Yeah. Like, if you ever seen an old can of Sunny D, it reminds me of, like, this. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I think it's going for, which is really neat. I'll say this, though. This is a fucking weird-ass level to be playing in the winter. I just think I realized something about the volleyball part that might make it easier. Okay. So that part where you have to hit the ball twice, once to spike it up and then once to hit it, almost like you're serving mid-volley, I think you can just stay on the ground for the first hit. Which I'm pretty sure ignores the jump indicators, but makes it easier. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That's a lot better. As if I can fucking time it. My channel deserves more than 15k subs. Thank you. Ow. Sorry, I heard something and I didn't know what it was, but it was the TV in the back. Because someone in the other room's watching TV. Man, I don't feel good about that hit. Even with trying to stay on the ground and hitting it, that doesn't feel good either. I think if I do like a little jump as like a prerequisite so I'm falling when it shows up, because the problem I think I'm having is that I don't have as wide of a range to hit it. So I think, yeah, I don't know. What are your GD goals for 2026? Finish the Rebeat arc. That's mainly my goal. I just want to finish the Rebeat arc in 2026. This level looks like a chore to play. Not really. The volleyball part's a chore to learn, but nah, it's fine. Like, this right now, what I'm doing, is why I was dreading this. The From Zero experience is gonna be fine. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna go back to jumping. The fuck? Does it expect me to jump into that last hit? It does, okay. I think there being one where you don't jump is throwing me off way more than it should. If that happens from Zero, I swear to God. I don't know if the fire at the end kills you, but I feel like I shouldn't take a risk. Oh, okay. Fair enough, Nardolexius. In my opinion. Let me see what you're thinking. Worst Gauntlets levels. The Crystal Gauntlet. I know I always do that. I just say the Crystal Gauntlet and then I don't elaborate, but like the Crystal Gauntlet really is bad. I don't think there's a single good level in the Crystal Gauntlet. Like, I don't like the Crystal Gauntlet. I think it's just nothing but bad hitbox score bullshit. Although the Abstract Dark level in the Crystal Gauntlet legitimately slaps. Other than that, they all suck. What? My checkpoint vanished. Whatever. That's stupid. Man, why does jumping there kill you anyway? Oh yeah, Scarlet Surge is amazing. I gotta beat Scarlet Pulse at some point. Alright, I'm double-clicking to make this less consistent, but I'm realizing I'm succeeding too much in making this not consistent. I just tried, as like a sort of thing to help me with that part, looking at the indicators on the bottom specifically just to click the spiked ball, you know, where he throws it and you have to click when you're on the ground. And, like, the indicators are so slow and large that I still click too early. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Those indicators are fucking useless. Almost as useless as these indicators in this part. Why does this part have indicators? I'm very confused now that I've noticed that. Hey, in case you didn't know, you don't want to touch the spikes. Thanks, level. Very nice. I just think at a certain point, you gotta know when just placing an obstacle in the level in and of itself is a obstacle. Or no, well, I mean, no shit. You gotta know when placing an obstacle in your level in and of itself is a indicator. Chat, you know what just happened there? I clicked to jump off the platform, but I released too early because I didn't account for the platform moving down. Oh, I'd rather have it happen here than from zero. So if I don't buffer both those orbs, suddenly the ship trick doesn't work. Okay. Oh, that part feels so weird. I don't understand. I think I've mentioned this before, but one thing I've realized about Karma L levels is that they seem like they suck until you start going for them, like, for real, like you have an actual chance of beating them. I don't know how to explain it, but it feels like they're skill-gated, where, unless you have, like, a shit ton of tier 17s and tier 18s, you're gonna think Lit Fuse sucks. And then, suddenly you're able to do Lit Fuse, and suddenly it becomes one of the best levels ever. It's weird. It's really weird how that works. I'm not necessarily playing to 100, although I might get it if I do what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to make sure I can do the volleyball part. Like, from a farther run. I keep corner jumping there somehow, and that's really funny. Alright, there we go. And the campfire doesn't kill you. Good to confirm that. Have I played Farewell? Or The Farewell? No, I have not. 47 run. Let's go. And now I'm confident in the entire level. Let's go, like, really far back. Okay, so whenever I'm approaching an off-screen orb in this part, or not orb, whenever I'm just approaching something off-screen, it's always a jump and I need to hold. I always wonder why the fuck that level became known, or, like, named that. Like, what led to that level's name being that? CSMMMMXD. This is one of those levels name where, like, the XD at the end makes me feel like it means something. Like, it's an inside joke. Like, even if it was, like, a young kid who was just keyboard slamming, I want to know what their thought process was like. Hee funny, this level name's funny. If that's the case, I mean, they weren't wrong. Why do I keep forgetting to jump there? Okay, that spider transition's delayed. Look at how fast I'm learning an entire chunk of the level versus how long it took me to learn one single part. Because up until I said I'm confident in the level now, everything I was doing was to accommodate for the volleyball part. I bet this run ends at the volleyball part. Or I just keep going. Sure. What a fucking nasty run, dude. What the fuck? That's so funny. I love that you can just go up there, by the way. Forgot to hold into the ship portal. Yeah, I am doing normal runs. What the fuck? Okay. That Dash Orb release is a little cruel. Do you find this or Nintendo harder? Nintendo by a mile. It's not even close. Damn it. I've noticed something about my earbuds and why getting Walmart wireless earbuds isn't the best idea. Audio is delayed by half a second. I think there's a bug with YouTube where if you, because I've had that happen with wireless earbuds too. I find that if you pause and then rewind, or in this case it's a stream, so rewind and then click live so you're caught up again. But if you pause, rewind, and hit play, it like resyncs the audio sometimes for some reason. Like, that happens on mobile for me all the time, and I don't know why. No, it does it with GD too? Oh, okay, then yeah, it's your earbuds. Repeating an earlier question, would you stream you beating every level of 1.x update? Be fun for you to do. I mean... I want to do every, like, 1.0 to 1. Like, I want to do every pre-2.0 level, basically. That's like a goal that I have, but it's hard because some of the levels you come across are stuff like Red World and, fucking... Well, what was the one? I think it was like a Hard Demon XL. It was like one of the first levels where the song ended too early. Also, I said, I did say pre-2.0. I meant pre-1.9, like everything before 1.9. Primary Maze, yeah. Primary Maze scares the fuck out of me. Like, real talk, I don't know why, but Primary Maze is something I just don't know if I can do. Yeah, like, I want to do all, like, the Hexagon Force era and earlier, you know? Theory of Troll? Don't remind me. Dude, pre-1.9 Insane Demons are like a whole nother beast in and of themselves. Why the fuck did I jump there? Dude. I gotta fucking... Okay. I gotta really show this. Because it's so funny. Alright. If we go for, like, looking at the oldest, Insane Demons, Ice Carbon, Zust, and Swiftness are the first two. Zero Kabi doesn't count because it was updated. I'm gonna ignore things that were updated. It's like, you have to do the Hazard Sector levels, you have Alphabet X, XYZ Step Infinity, Twilight Step V2, ICDX, the fucking Janus Miracle. Primary Maze is an Insane Demon now? When did this become an Insane Demon? Tier 14 Insane Demon, okay. Dual Hexagon Force is, like, actually really cool, and I want to beat that. Theory of Troll. Extreme Chaos by Nether. Necropolis, and then Creeper Force. Is Creeper Force really the last 1.8 Insane Demon? Yeah, I mean, it goes into stalemate, so... Wow, it's fucking Creeper Force, huh? Okay. Hey, RPG Gamer. I swear to God, why do I keep jumping there? I might have to go back into practice, just because I forgot what to do there. We'll do a couple more attempts from zero, but I just realized that I, like, blocked out a part of this level in my memory, which is kind of bad. I'll just keep going. We'll see where this goes, but don't be shocked if I decide to go back into practice. Fucking hell, stop doing that. Yes, this is the water gauntlet. No, I don't need practice. I remember what to do now. But man, I'm upset that I forgot to wait on that click. I guess it's going to be beaten next year, guys. Yeah, fair enough. Fucking hell, stop jumping there. Damn it. Well, we almost made it to 2 runs. Oh, man. Also, I just remembered, I think you can miss that green orb and end up on the top of the little balcony. Yeah, I think I just remember that being like a cool thing you can do, so I'm gonna try to do that this run. Or I'm gonna forget. Muscle memory, damn you. Ow. I say that and then I have a death because of muscle memory giving up on me. Yeah, there we go. Ow. Wow, what the fuck was that lag spike? I don't know if that showed up on stream, but like my game stuttered so bad there. Like basically the entire ship part. And I got caught by the tip of the spike. Alright. What do I think of Afterlocked X? I don't know of it. Why did I forget you have to jump there? Oh my god. 9 minutes? Yeah. Let me set something up really quick. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to decide what to do here. Hold on. Alright. Just gonna move that over there. Alright. We're gonna do a few more attempts of this. But then I have a funny I'm gonna do for New Year's. It's a dumb funny. Why did I just go straight up like that? What the fuck am I doing? What the fuck just happened? Okay. Alright, so here's the plan. We're approaching, midnight, New Year's. And I want to click play on this level the second the clock rolls over to midnight and one attempt it. I can consistently one attempt this level, so this should be a thing I can do. But at the same time, nerves from what I'm gonna be trying to do. So, this could end in sheer disappointment, okay? But I am still gonna attempt this, alright? But, yeah, that is the plan. Yeah. Let me just, I'm adjusting some things. Okay. So I have this in window capture, so that way you can see the clock down here. You can see the clock. It's all gonna be completely, like, timed. So at this point, we're just waiting. I missed a long time. Oh, don't worry, I haven't exactly beaten much yet. I've just learned Calypso Blitz. Happy 11 o'clock in advance. Fair enough. We're getting there. Do you guys have any plans for New Year's? See my family? I should be sleeping. Get through finals. Fair enough. How confident would you be in your ability to complete the original Hell series levels? Not very. Oh yeah, I forgot. Lexi, you are in an area where that regularly happens, aren't you? Alright, here we go. 20 more seconds. Actually, we should probably load up the level. Yeah, because it takes a little while for the level to load, so we don't want to like have it load for a few seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I die, my year's gonna go poorly. Let's go! Let's fucking go! Yeah! I'm so sorry. I actually really like that song. I do too. Alright. Okay. Back to Calypso Blitz. Horrible start to the year. Hey, it could have been worse. I could have started the year with a 6-7 joke. Why did I just fucking hold into that wall, bro? Ouch. You know, I gotta show you guys something, okay? There's just something that's been on my mind, because it's really funny. So first of all, this starts in a rather stupid place, but you know how I'm ugly as fuck, chat? Alright, and I've mentioned that I think I'm pretty ugly before? And I'm not even saying that to be mean, I'm just, like, mean to myself. I'm just, like, genuinely, like, you know how I think that I'm ugly, right? Well, the thing is, a lot of people like to take images of myself from, like, old videos and stuff and be like, man, look at how ugly this guy is, right? And I always thought that that was kind of like whatever, right? I think it's weird because, first of all, I gotta admit, in the images of me that people will be like, oh man, look at how ugly this guy is, I look worse than normal because, like, my hair will be all fucked up. Especially when I didn't have a job, I'd, like, not take care of my physical appearance, right? So there's some fucking ugly photos of me, right? And normally when people take those out of context, they're just like, oh man, hey, look at how ugly this guy is. I don't give a shit, because it's the internet. People are going to do that, right? But the thing is, there's one fucking tweet that just lives rent-free in my head from the Geometry Dash Hitboxes gimmick account, because the thing is, this is like the funniest fucking image in the world, and I don't know if this was made as like a lighthearted joke, or if this was made to genuinely be mean, but all I know is that this is the fucking funniest image I've ever seen. I don't know why, but this is so fucking funny. I love this image. I love this image so much. Wait, was that actually WK Games? No fucking way. But yeah, that is like the highlight of all of that shit for me, because there's just something about that image that just fucking slays me. It's so funny. The thing is like, on the whole ugly front, right, I can't win. You know what I mean? Because if I don't, like, like before, I legitimately did not take care of myself, right? Like, I did the bare minimum, I'd shower and all that, but, like, I wouldn't brush my hair or anything like that, because I didn't really do anything. I sat in my room and worked on YouTube videos, right? So, you know, never really, okay, just the thing about me, for this to sound less sad, I am a huge introvert. I hate going out and talking to people. I am not the go to a bar and talk to people type, so the less time I spend around people, the better. Weirdly, this doesn't apply to the internet. It's only, like, physical interaction. I don't know why. I just hate talking to people. I always have. It's not, like, social anxiety. I don't think I'm gonna say the wrong thing. It's just more like, I guess I don't like talking to people. Like just the act of... put it this way, I am just the type of person to respond to a text with, like, a one-word reply. Like, someone will say, like, hey, can you get this for me? And instead of being like, yeah, I could go to this place and get it, and blah, 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 I'll be like, okay. And then I come home and I have the thing. I hate, I hate being around people, unless it's online. I always have. And so, yeah, before I had a job, I just wouldn't physically take care of myself. I would, like, I would shower. I'd do all the usual stuff. I brush my teeth, all that, you know, good little kid stuff that you get taught. But, like, real talk, I don't think I ever, like, shaved my facial hair. Like, I don't think I ever took a razor to my chin and just got rid of my facial hair. It's weird, I know, but, like, that's the kind of thing I would never do. I guess I'd describe it as, like, physical grooming myself, like how you groom a dog, right? Like, I'd never do that. I'd never, like, take care of my fur, if you will, right? So, yeah, I just used to look really fucking ugly. You can find the photos everywhere. But it's funny because now that I do, because I have to, I have a job, right? Now that I do all, like, the upkeep stuff, I trim my facial hair, I cut my hair, I, dress nice, I do all that sort of stuff. Now I just fucking look like Peter Griffin. Like, I'm dead ass. I have a fucking Twitter video that I posted, and it was, like, me venting about how I'm bad at using Twitter or whatever. And, like, I'm wearing my work shirt, but without my uniform on, and it's, like, a white button-up shirt. And, bro, I literally just look like Peter Griffin. It is uncanny. Let me see if I can find this. Because, I mean, like... where the fuck is it? I didn't delete it, did I? Or is it just way older than I think it is? I have olive pants. No, I have a pair of black slacks and a pair of black shoes. Dude, genuinely, where is this video? I can't find it in my Twitter stuff. In fact, a bunch of my media on Twitter is just blacked out and I can't click on it for some reason. The fuck? Why? Twitter? Dude, where the fuck... Okay, so first of all, I gotta say... You know how I mentioned the whole thing about my facial hair? This is what I'm talking about. My facial hair used to be so bad, and I had such a bad acne problem, too. I look at this photo, and I get so mad at myself. Legitimately, though, I don't think I look that bad now. Looks spiffing? I don't know how to take that one. But yeah, I can't find it. I want to play Calypso Blitz. I don't want to look forever, but you'll have to take my word for it. I look like fucking Peter Griffin, and it's so funny. And obviously, a big part of that is I'm, like, actively trying to lose weight and all that sort of stuff. But it's just, it's funny. It's really funny because I've always had bad luck with photos and stuff, so it's just possible to go into any old video where I attempted to use a face cam and just find a frame where I look super ugly. And there's more frames where I look ugly than ones where I don't, I'll tell you that. And again, I know that it sounds like I'm being mean to myself. I'm not. I'm capable of saying that I look good. Like, I think when I am at work, dressed up, I think I look good. I just... you know. To stop being ugly, please record without your glasses. No. No, 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 no. You have no idea how fucking awful I look when I take off my glasses, dude. It's like my eyes have morphed to fit my goddamn glasses. It's... oh my god. I forgot that the wave wasn't upside down for some reason. We're gonna say that part with the ball, the one that I just died to, but, like, the ball part, when I get to this part, that's far. There's no visual indicator for it to be upside down. Yeah, but okay. I guess I'm going on that tangent now. So, learning to sight read is such a fucking double-edged sword. Alright, chat? Because, and this is something that a small handful of people are gonna extremely relate to, but then a large chunk aren't gonna get. But you get to a point where, when you're sight reading a level, you get really good at gauging what's gonna happen, not so much based off what the level presents, like portals and orbs and all that, but more so based off, like, the environment of a level, right? Like, let me get you guys an example. Hold on. Just something on the fly. Let me just go to, you know, we'll pick, like, a random medium demon, sure. Okay. So here's Final Destination by Lugia, just as, like, an off-the-cuff example, right? I love this level, by the way. It's just a level I found. But, like, if I skip to a random point, right? Actually, this might not be a good example because it's weird. It's 2.0. But it's like, okay, you get dropped into this, right? There's a lot of things that go through your head basically just during this one frame alone if you're a star grinder. But the thing is, getting to this point, you can infer that you are either going to be a ball or a cube. And the reason you infer that is not because of the portal you just went through, because usually star grinders look at about this part of the screen, right? They don't look here, they look here, right? That's where I look. And the thing is, I look at this part and I think, oh, okay, so this is a ball part, but I don't think that because of the portal. I think that because of the structure of the part. I think that because I see 3 orbs like this, and I go, okay, so that's gotta be a ball, right? And when you learn to sight read, this is how you read things. This is how you kind of predict what's gonna come up. Like, I'll pick another level as an example. Let's go with, the random easy demon here. Let's go... I'll just click one at random and just sort of show you how this works. Alright, let's go with... I'm not gonna look, I'm gonna click at random. Which one am I doing? Dreamflower. Okay, that works, because I'm not very familiar with this level. Alright, so we skip into a random part and go to the next transition. Okay, so Dash Orb, we're about to transition. That's not a good example, because this shows you what you're... Okay, this is not the kind of gameplay where you do this with. This level requires a lot of practice for a sight reader. That's not a good example. Something that I could reasonably sight read. Let's see. Okay, that's a bit too easy. That doesn't work. Fjork, sure. How the fuck did I click on that? I could have sworn I just clicked on Fjork. Okay, so go to a random point in this, right? So, like, with this, I'm not looking at the UFO portal, I'm looking at the gravity portals. I see this structure, and keep in mind, this all enters my head within a fraction of a second. Like, I have to verbally say these words, and words take time to say, but when these manifest as thoughts, it happens within a fraction of a second, because I don't need to take the time to speak the words, right? But basically, within a fraction of a second, my brain goes, oh, okay, so there's platforms with spikes, so there's nowhere for a cube or a robot to land, so this has to be a vehicle that... I just call it a vehicle, well. This has to be a game mode that can move in the air. This would be really awkward with the ship or wave, so this is likely a UFO, because the UFO commonly clicks with gravity portals, so I'm going to assume I'm a UFO here. And all of that, is basically, like, said... And that sounds complicated, but your brain doesn't process that with words. It processes that with, pattern recognition. So it's a lot simpler than it sounds when you verbally express it. But all of that kind of enters your brain at once. And so, seeing this part, I just go, oh, okay, I'm a UFO. But I don't see that from the portal. Like, I see this part, and I see the black orb with this specific... First of all, this specific, right? This specific formation. Platform with a place to land on, a pad above you, and a black orb is always a spider click. That is... So, like, the moment I see this frame, I instantly know I'm a spider. And... Again, this has nothing to do with the portals. I could grayscale every portal in the textures, and I'd still be able to know what game mode I'm about to be. So, like, all of this, I probably wouldn't need, practice to know what I'm supposed to do. And that's just how sight reading works. But now, herein lies the issue, chat. Because I said it was a double-edged sword, and I brought this up to explain a death. So you might think, oh, okay, how could any of this be a bad thing? Well, that is the big issue. Imagine you run into a scenario where... OBS did the thing again. Thanks, OBS. Anyway, so as I was saying before the stream decided to shit itself... your brain can jump to conclusions that are not true as well, and that's why it's a double-edged sword and why it can be a bad thing. Because the part I died to in Calypso Blitz, right? Right around... Let me skip to it. Yeah, so right here, the reason I died here is because my brain keeps autopiloting, and I know this is wrong, but my brain is doing this. It's almost like mental muscle memory, right? Where I see a portal, a ball, and a platform that's above that's flat, and I'm also aware that you slide up here, so my brain assumes that the gravity is going to flip, even though it doesn't. So I just don't click here. And that's like the big thing with being a sight reader, is that sometimes there are these sort of, I guess, mental glitches that can kill you. You know what I mean? Where like, your brain just fails you. And that's sort of, like a genuine thing. It's super weird that like, I don't know if that's the case with everybody, but I've talked to people, and I know there's a lot of people like that. But it's just like, when you're obviously normal gravity. Well, that's kind of the thing, though, is, like, I'm not looking at the portals. Because if you're paying attention to the portals, that's extremely obvious. But if you look at that part, and you are actively ignoring the portals visually, then your brain can do that to you. It's a two-way street with the level design and creator intent. Yeah, but the level design's good. At least in that part. I don't like the volleyball part. But yeah, the level design's good, so it's not, you know... But yeah, that's just like a little tangent. That's whenever I say that, like, I read a part wrong, that's usually what I mean. Because it just means that I thought, or like, not really I thought, but it's like, basically muscle memory failing. That's what it is. Like everything I just explained, yeah. The thing is, Super Uniform, the reason a lot of sight readers have that, where they don't really visually look at or see or process the portals, is because using the portals to tell what's coming up is often very visually overloading, when you can just kind of use, like, the vague silhouette of the layout to understand what you're gonna be. I swear to God, I keep forgetting to jump there. Go is at, like 48 or somewhere along that. It's when I get to the part at 48. We'll just say Go is 50, for the sake of making things clean. Though, you could realistically start saying Go just when I get to that part. Hey, IRL Stories. That's one of my favorite swag routes, because it's just such a fun swag route to take. Jesus Christ, man. That has to be the world's deadliest flower. How many people have been killed by that flower? I just wanted to pick the flowers. They smell nice. I didn't know it was poisonous. I guess I gotta be careful when you're on a tropical island. You don't know what the plant life is here. You can't just eat a random mushroom off... Okay, you probably shouldn't eat a random mushroom off the ground anyway. Just don't eat mushrooms off the ground. Don't... If you see mushrooms growing out of the ground, it's typically a bad idea to eat them. Don't do that. Fuck. Mother 3 taught me that. I gotta play the Earthbound games, like, in full. I played a little bit of, Earthbound, but I gotta, like, really play them. This is Calypso Blitz, final level of the Water Gauntlet. What? What happened? Man, bro, what the fuck? You know what's crazy? I still don't feel tired. What a difference 1 hour can make. Fuck. Happy New Year! Oh yeah, that's right. A lot of people probably who regulars didn't turn into the stream because they were probably doing New Year's shit. Like there's probably people like watching the ball drop with their family. I don't tend to watch the ball drop because I just like have this weird thing about like not being able to watch things that are predictable. It's like, I know what's gonna happen to the ball drop. It's in the name. The ball's gonna drop. I'm just weird. That's what I'm realizing. I'm just weird. Fucking unique death. Alright. I think it's time for me to drink one of the rock stars. My family's Catholic. I'm so sorry. So I went to church, but it turns out they started church early, so when we got there, it was basically over. People call them NAS. It can be shortened like 3 or 4 different ways, because I've seen people call me nothing, I've seen people call me scary, I've seen people call me everything is scary, I've seen people call me NIS. Really, I like when people just call me scary, like they shorten it like that. It's kind of just become more of a name than anything. Everything is scary is, it's a funny one to me, and I've wanted to do something with that. Almost like it's my alter ego. Sort of like how, I forget what he called it, but it's like how Brandon Larkin had, like, the evil Brandon Larkin. You know what I mean? Rodman Larkin, yeah. I gotta stop jumping there. It's a miracle I didn't die that time. Speech bubble death, dude. 47, that's where far is. Frostwave, you should have seen what I did when the clock turned over to midnight. Like, if you have to, rewind the stream and go watch that part. Because it's fucking funny. Is the level good? I'm thinking it's like 8 out of 10 good. Frostwave's a chat regular. And they're really cool. That's me, but with faces of people in the real world, and not online. I cannot remember names for shit, but I can remember a face. Damn it. What the fuck is wrong with me? It's like I can't decide whether or not I want to go up or down, so I just go straight into the middle, right into the saw. I'll look at that message in a sec, IRL stories, I'm locked in. Wow. What are your thoughts on doing, like, alliteration, Heinz Halloween Horrors? I like it, but I don't view it as a requirement, and I don't go out of my way to do it. Like, I don't do stuff like Mamery, because, I don't know. I forget you used to go by the name Fiery. I always forget that, because I just know you as Frostwave. Alright, so I'm probably gonna notice chat messages ever so slightly less. So I apologize if I miss your message, but I really want to lock in. In practice, I was clicking too fast, so I had to slow down. In normal, I was clicking too slow. Yeah, I wonder whatever happened to Richard Nixon. a scary iceberg would be funny. If someone wants to make it, sure. Though really, I could probably make it myself because I could give input on deleted videos. Well, the consistency's building. What? Why didn't it register my input? I normally don't acknowledge, like, funny percentage death because, like, you're gonna die at funny numbers eventually. But, like, if you die to a bug at 67, it's a 67 attempt. It's haha funny 6-7. Bro. Come on, man. Someone needs to make a Geode mod where if you die at 67, it plays the 6-7 audio. Like, that's the only thing the mod does. Nothing else. It just plays the soundbite if you die at 67. If only I knew how to code, or had the time on my hands to learn. It's funny, you'd think I would, considering I'm a Linux user, but no, Linux is just easy to use now. I honestly feel like I became more of a casual PC user and not less. Because on Windows, I constantly had to, like, feel like I was hacking into the mainframe just to delete fucking Windows Media Player. Windows users trying to delete Media Player. And it's like the Linux users installing OBS skiff or whatever. What? 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 What the fuck just happened? I'm not clicking. Okay. Yo, what the fuck just happened? I was in the tree. Wait, Wait, okay, so I click that. I jump, I click that. I click that, don't do anything, and I'm up here? What the fuck? Sure. That's more than a speech bubble death. That's like... I don't even know what the fuck that was. Although you could do a speech bubble image on, like, the moment I enter the tree, and that would go pretty hard. Damn it. But yeah, no, like... Okay, I gotta go on a tangent, okay? We're gonna take a small break from Calypso Blitz, because honestly, I think I needed to build up the consistency. I gotta vent, alright? I don't know what the fuck Microsoft is doing with Windows, dude. Because here's the thing. I am now a Linux user. Like, primarily. If I am picking which operating system I'm using, like I am live right now, right? I am live as we speak, and while streaming, I can go ahead and... I almost typed it into the search bar, wow. Like, while streaming, Control-Alt-T, Neo-Fetch... There you go, chat. I did the meme. I did the funny. Okay? So, like, yeah, I am a Linux user, primarily, right? That is my thing. But I still have to use Windows. That's the thing. How are you running a stream on this CPU? I'm streaming on my GPU. Back when I streamed on my CPU, I got a performance hit and I had to stream in low quality. I'm streaming off of my GPU. But yeah, like, I have to use both. In my PC, I have an M.2 and a SATA SSD. The M.2 has Linux, the SATA SSD has Windows. And, yeah, you can do that. It's actually pretty easy. Basically... you just have both drives, both have an operating system installed onto them, and when you, you first turn the computer on, you could just, press F11 and choose your operating system. That, or I think if you have Linux as your primary, you could just boot into Windows from Grub. Either way, basically, you can dual boot, it's very easy, it's basically just the equivalent of, you have two drives plugged in, so when you turn your PC on, you just push a button and it lets you choose your operating system, right? So it's very easy. Oh, you're referring to the GPU. Oh, okay. But yeah, so, I use both, and the reason I use both is just for things that don't work on Linux, which you'd think is a large list, but it's not. It's, 2 things. And a lot of those things aren't, they could run on Linux. It's just that whoever the fuck made them doesn't want them to. So, any online multiplayer game that has an anti-cheat will probably not work on Linux. But that's only because the developer just goes out of their way to stop Linux users from playing it for some reason. So, yeah. I have Windows. I end up booting into it, once every few months, right? The last time I booted into Windows, I used it to beat Cyberpunk because the game ran ever so slightly better on Windows for some reason. So, yeah. The thing is, right, I keep up to date with the news with Windows 11, and I do this for 2 reasons. The first is for the very rare chance I have to boot into it and use it, and the second is, if I have to help somebody who uses Windows 11, right? Because I like to still know how shit works so that I can fix things for people, right? And I don't know why. Here's the thing. Using a computer within the last 7 years has slowly become more and more annoying because... And I'm just saying flat out, using a computer, period, has become more annoying. And the reason, and this applies to Linux too. This is not an operating system specific thing. Just using a computer has become more annoying. And the reason is because applications are becoming more and more and more and more and more RAM intensive for no fucking reason. Like, Discord uses a shit ton of RAM. And, like, I actually am curious, I'm doing terminal stuff, so I'm gonna do this so you can see if you really are curious what this is like. I'm gonna run htop, which lets me view. This is basically like Linux Task Manager in a way, right? It's not that complicated. It's a lot like how Task Manager works. But if I go to memory, like, despite the fact that I am streaming and that I am, really, just despite the fact that I am currently live streaming, still, despite that, the two things that are using the most RAM, GD, which makes sense, and then Firefox. Why is Firefox using so much RAM? I'll tell you. It's because internet browsers nowadays suck cock. I don't get why, but, like, there is no universe in the world to me where Firefox and JavaScript should be using more RAM than streaming with OBS. And I don't have Discord open, right? And I'm not opening Discord on stream. That's a bad idea. But Discord uses so much RAM. It's not Firefox's fault. Kind of is, though, because, like, none of these internet browsers have any sort of RAM management. Like, I don't get why you can't just introduce a feature where, like, if you have a tab open, it'll, like, unload all the JavaScript on the other tabs or something. Now, to be fair, Firefox is the best out of all the internet browsers, but I'm basically just saying they all suck. It's not how it works. It is, though, because Chrome had that feature. It sucked because it took like 30 minutes, but Chrome had a thing where if a tab was left closed for a long enough time, it would sort of unload the tab. Opera GX's RAM limiter sucks cock. I've messed with it, but all it does is make websites slower to the point where they're barely usable. Like, I saw in all the ads for Opera GX, they would be like, oh, well, using the RAM limiter, you can make your browser use less RAM, but you can still watch that video in the background while playing your game. Dude, if you use the RAM limiter, YouTube videos are not going to load. So, my thing, right, is, and this is the point, like, that was like a mini crash out, but that's kind of beside the point. My point is, things are using more and more RAM out of, like, over time, right? Just a lot of things use more RAM. And, why this, like, where I'm going with this is Windows is on this weird quest to make everything look good. But similar to a GD creator that cares way too much about deco, they are not thinking about the functionality at all. Like, I gotta find something. This is just something that makes me so mad. Like, I am, like, really passionate. Like, this is a very passionate anger, so I'm kind of glad that I get to go on this crash out really quick. But I need to find this. It shouldn't be that far into my feed. Bear with me. Yeah, here it is. So, I don't know, like, the technical terms for this, because I'm not, like, a professional. I don't know like the actual proper terms, but I've come to call a lot of Windows 10 programs as what I call shell programs. I don't know if that's like the correct term, but I call them that because they run within the shell. They run within Explorer, right? And, basically, shell programs are like those plain white, very simple, snappy, fast-paced OS, programs that you need. Stuff like the run box, stuff like Task Manager, you know, stuff like that, right? Like Control Panel, exactly, Forever Fractal. Just like Control Panel. So, like, the basic functionality of the computer, the things you need at the OS level because they allow you to use the computer. But over the past 3 years, basically, they have been replacing the shell programs, and again, I don't know if that's the correct term, so bear with me, but they've been replacing these shell programs with applications where they run in the same way something like Discord would run, or GD, or Steam would run. And it's getting to the point where the PC chugs opening Task Manager. And this has been a complaint I've had for a while, because, like, Task Manager is something you need to be snappy and fast and barely use any of the PC's resources, because, like, if your whole PC's frozen, you need to rely on a slow, chugging, laggy computer that barely is working to be able to just open Task Manager and kill whatever is lagging out the computer, right? It's important. You need these programs to be lightweight. And with them replacing these with these applications, they've been making them slower and worse. And, like, my breaking point was Task Manager. They did it with the File Explorer in and of itself. But where it started to really annoy me was when I saw this tweet. This is the new run command. And, like, sure, it looks cool. Maybe, kind of. I don't really think so. But you notice right at the beginning of this, like, proper demonstration video how it's a white box for a second before it opens? Yeah, that's because the run box needs to fucking load. Now, to their credit, this is supposedly optional. You can disable that. You can disable that run box and have the shell version. But you know for a fact that's only because they're easing people into it so they can make it required. And you combine that with... Actually, Gorantev, you're beating me to the punch here, because I was about to mention that. You combine that with the fact that Microsoft has been vibe coding a lot of their Windows updates lately with AI, and Windows, basically, every time it gets an update, just self-destructs. It just stops working for a little bit. Like, I saw a post where Windows released an update, and it made it so that the advanced boot up menu did not allow you to use your keyboard and mouse. The advanced boot up menu. The menu that you need to use when you boot into safe mode or reinstall Windows. So I guess fuck cybersecurity. I don't care how fast they fixed it. That should have never broke to begin with. That's the kind of shit that's going to happen if they keep coding stuff with AI. And then, like, don't even get me started on the right to repair and consumer rights bullshit, because I could go on about that all fucking day. Just, what is it? consumerrights.wiki, I believe? Let me kill my screen share in case I don't know the URL exactly. Yeah, consumerrights.wiki. If you want to really know how infuriating Windows 11 can be, or Microsoft can be in general, just do this. This is all, and I mean all, just things they have done to fuck with consumer rights. It's a nice article. I'd give it a read. ConsumerRights.wiki is a really good site, by the way. Like, I love this website. And it's getting to the point where, like, before, I understood why someone wouldn't want to switch to Linux. Because, oh man, Linux is complicated. And to a degree it is. You need a little bit of maintenance, you know? You need to know what you're doing. There are problems you'll encounter that you need to fix. Chat, I got all the Five Nights at Freddy's games the other day, and when I went to play Five Nights at Freddy's 1, I had to keep switching Proton versions because it wouldn't work, and only one Proton version worked. I had to specifically play it on Proton 5.0-10, and I had to enter a launch option to get it to work. So, like, you know, you encounter stuff like that sometimes. Sometimes you need to fix things on Linux, but at least on Linux, it's easy to fix them, and when you fix them, they fucking work, right? But, on Windows, let's say you're installing Windows 11 for the first time. Do you comprehend how fucking difficult it is to make a local account? They keep making it harder with every goddamn update. I don't understand. Yeah, that was a rant I needed to go on. I don't know what the fuck they're doing over there. Would you believe, Forever Fractal, that they patched that out and now it's not that simple anymore? I mean, the thing is, like, people who use Windows, and have to work around problems like that, at least the people who care enough to not just give in and make an online account, right? They're really smart, and they know how to fix problems like that. So I'm sure it's really easy if you know what you're doing. Like, it's probably just as simple as, like, oh yeah, download this piece of software and set up the ISO file with that. It'll make it, you know, but it shouldn't have to be that way. Especially when on the Linux side of things, I saw a thing on Twitter recently where someone made a program that lets you install Linux inside of Windows. And I don't mean like running Linux inside of Windows. I mean like, basically what the program does is you run it, it's an exe that you run in Windows, and from within Windows, it installs Linux onto your drive, and then I think uninstalls Windows afterwards. So it just, like, lets you switch to Linux without ever having to do, like, an ISO file or having to switch to, you know, or, like, get a second drive or anything like that. Which distro? I think it's any. I think you can choose, because in the video they were doing it with Mint. So I don't really know, but, like, that's the kind of thing that's gonna lead to people switching to Mint, which is good, because I think really the only reason people aren't switching to Linux is because of the commitment, you know what I mean? You have to, like, really want to do it and put in the effort. So, I don't know, man. I think as Linux gets easier and easier to install, and Windows is making it harder and harder to use their fucking operating system, eventually, because here's the rule, right, when it comes to tech. When you're buying a phone, or you're buying a computer, or you're buying really anything along those lines, the thing that is going to succeed is the thing that is the easiest to use. Why are iPhones so popular? Because iPhones are simple. It all comes back to that one phrase, it just works. And I don't know, I'm so fucking mad at how bad Windows is getting. I hate iPhones. I used to, but I've grown to like them. I used to be one of those people that's like, man, I don't want an iPhone because I can't change my wallpaper. Or actually, I think I could, but I can't, like, change my ringtone to anything I want, and I have to pay for my ringtones, and, like, I can't install APKs or whatever. I have to only install things from the App Store. And it's like, yeah, those things are annoying, but really, I don't need those things anyway, because here's my thing. I just need to use my phone as a phone. I need to be able to call and text people. Everything else is just like a nice bonus. And as long as I can, like, install YouTube and GD and all that sort of stuff, I can just use my phone. I don't care, right? I don't need to, like, install an alternative app store if all the apps on there are what I want. I'm not saying that this shouldn't be an option, by the way. I get why people want it. It's just, for me personally, I don't care, and so I like my iPhone. Personally, I have a Pixel 9 with Graphene OS. Yeah, no, that's based. But, again, all I'm saying is if you don't care, iPhones are really good. And that's what it'll always come down to. You know what I mean? Graphene OS will never be popular because you have to install Graphene OS. Like, right now, right? Do you want to know why, on an actual, like, honest level, why Windows will never, or why Linux will never pass Windows at the moment? And it eventually could, it's just like, why at this exact moment Linux is not going to beat Windows? Simplicity, sure, but it's actually an even more, simple reason than the simplicity. Because people don't care? Part of it too. But I have a much simpler answer. Alright, you ready for this, chat? If you go into a store and you buy a laptop, what does it already have on it? It has Windows. And when someone buys a laptop, what would they rather do? Put in a shit ton of work to switch operating systems? Or go on Reddit and shitpost? You know what I mean? Like, people just want to use the computer that they bought. I don't think people want to have to, like, tinker with their computer, especially when the average user is probably going to be afraid that they're going to, like, fuck something up. Imagine putting down, like, $500, and keep in mind, this is talking normies here. We're talking about people who don't know what they're doing. Imagine putting, like, $500 on a computer only to immediately go, I'm gonna install Linux. And then, like, risk fucking it up, you know what I mean? I mean, Linux is simple. Yeah, but, again, you know what I mean. We're talking about the normies. Casual users will not understand Linux. It's not even that. That's not my point. Casual users don't know what an operating system is, you know what I mean? Casual users don't really think about, oh, there's Windows, there's Mac, and there's Linux. Casual users will just go, it's a computer. I'm gonna open the internet browser, I'm going on youtube.com. Like, a majority of people don't know what an operating system is. A majority of people don't know what a VPN is. A majority of people don't know what a fucking ad blocker is. A majority of people just want to buy a $700 laptop, bring it home, and open their internet browser and, like, I don't know, download Microsoft Word or something and do work or fucking watch videos or something. Like, casual users will go out of their way to buy a new piece of hardware with a minor inconvenience. Or they will live with it. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, another example, right? One of my least favorite consumer rights moves that has ever been made is Netflix will lower the video quality of videos if you are on Linux. So, if you... Like, it doesn't matter how expensive a package you pay for. If you pay for the package that's like ad-free and everything's in 4K, even though you are paying extra for 4K, the stream will not hit you any higher than 720p, specifically because you're on Linux. Once I'm done this attempt, I'm actually going to show something to prove that. Isn't that normal, though? No. Not all. Not at all. Okay. I'm going to pull something up. Okay, so, keep in mind, right, before I pull this up, keep in mind that none of this is shown to you when you pay for Netflix. Okay? None of this is shown to you when you pay for Netflix. When you pay for Netflix, all you see is, pay this amount of money, get video in 4K. There is no limitation listed. And in your mind, at most, you might think, okay, so I won't get 4K if my GPU is not good enough for 4K, right? So, with that in mind, so this is normal, right? Kind of. But then you notice, wait a minute, only Microsoft Edge gets 4K. Chrome, Firefox, and Opera only get 1080p. Why? And then you scroll down to Linux. Due to the many configurations of Linux, we can't guarantee Netflix will work on devices with a Linux OS and may have issues. All they have to do is send you a video file. That's all they have to do. They just have to stream a video file over the internet. This is an arbitrary restriction that they put upon themselves on purpose. And you might think, well, why would they do that? Do they financially gain anything from it? Because obviously money is most likely the answer, right? Money or data. Why would they do that? Well, then you think about it and you realize, oh, okay, so the easiest way to get 4K is to use their closed source app on your phone or use a closed source operating system with a closed source browser. They don't want you using open source stuff because they're collecting your data. That's what it comes down to. And I think that's so deceptive. I think it's so scummy. But now, and this is where I'm going with this, just think about this. Imagine you're just like a random normie who wants to come home from work and watch fucking Squid Game or whatever on Netflix. They just want to like throw on like a random thing on Netflix, right? They're not gonna know what the difference between 4K, 1080p, and 720 is. They're probably not gonna notice the bad video quality. They're not gonna care. And so an average person is just gonna end up watching Netflix in 720p while paying for 4K and not know. But yeah. That's why consumer rights and stuff is so hard to fight for, is because a lot of the fight is convincing people that it's a fight worth fighting, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people just legitimately don't know that they're being fucked over. And so, honestly, a large amount of people probably know that Windows sucks now, but I doubt that a large amount of people know why. But yeah, there's your rant. Ow. Do you have a contingency plan in case your government decides to start seriously blocking access to undesirable internet content? I mean, I work a real-life job, so worst comes to worst, I just lose access to the internet. But I also don't think it'll ever get to that point. You know what I personally think? And I know that a lot of people are going to call this copium. It's not really copium to me because I don't care. I mean, I care, but like... Yeah, that's probably a bad thing to say. I do care. But, it doesn't personally affect me, basically. I'm too privileged for this to affect me. But, I think that Trump is going to be impeached. I do. I think it's gonna happen. And what I think the driving force is gonna be that causes it is all the stuff going on with the Epstein files. And I won't give political opinions. I won't get too political because I know that people don't like that. All I'm saying is that I think that regardless of which side of the political aisle you're on, he has done wrong, he's lied, and at this point, I feel like it is an inevitability. I did the tree thing again. What the fuck? Fucking hell. My thing on it, Frostwave, is that I think if it happens, and right now I think it's likely to happen, the only way it is going to happen is if it's because of the Epstein files. What plans do I have for 2026? Nothing much, really. work on my weight loss, work on the Rebeat arc, and just kind of hold my job and do my best. God, this level is kicking my ass. Dude, come on, man. Kinda random question, but did y'all get a video about how to read a redacted PDF file in your YouTube recommendations recently? I did too. The thing is... Okay, Frostwave. And I gotta honestly ask, how closely have you followed the situation with the Epstein files? Because that video is actually part of why I said what I said about him being impeached. Not very. Alright, so I'm gonna give you a little bit of a rundown. Nothing crazy, nothing super detailed, and I'm gonna leave the politics out of it. But basically, the Epstein files were forced to come out due to a law that had passed, which I believe was literally called the Unredact the Epstein bill or something, or like the Release the Epstein Files bill, or some shit like that, which is a very funny name. But basically, they were forced to be released, and so the FBI, they went on a fucking, like, panic spree, and they just blacked out everything. To the point where I think there's, like, 32 pages that are just the color black, which, dear God, I feel so bad for their printer. But yeah, it's called the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Yeah. So, the thing is, they're super fucking heavily redacted, but from what little that wasn't redacted, they are a lot, like, they're about as damning as you'd expect them to be. A lot of people being implicated, and it's a lot of stuff that really isn't worth going into for me, because it's, like, unrelated to the topic. But, like, honestly, CoffeeZilla has made interesting videos on it if you want to. But just, like, as you would probably expect, names are implicated. Weirdly, Kash Patel, the guy who runs the FBI, is actually kind of implicated in them. Not because he shows up in them, but because a lot of what's in them contradicts things that he said under oath, which means that he might have allegedly committed perjury. And, that's huge, because he's the fucking, like, basically, like, the head of the FBI right now. But basically, here's the big thing that happened, right? The Epstein files get this big drop, and a shit ton of it is, redacted, right? But then it was quickly discovered, because it was released in the form of a PDF file, it was quickly discovered that you could unredact large chunks of the files by just highlighting all the text on the page, copying it by pressing Control-C, and then pressing Control-V somewhere else. Because they did not know how to redact a PDF file properly. So, once that happened, a lot of stuff implicating Trump has come out. Like, stuff directly stating that he has assaulted minors. So, yeah, it's pretty direct from what I've seen. Yeah, no one's surprised there exactly, but the thing is, what's huge about it is that, unlike a lot of stuff before, this would be direct, documented, like, confirmation of it, which could be enough for him to get impeached. And the wild thing is that the FBI... I'm gonna use the word allegedly, but in my opinion, I am confident this is just straight up the case. But allegedly, the FBI has been just straight up covering up for this. Because, there's been a lot of weird stuff of them trying to remove Trump from the files. Like, for example, there was a thing that happened where if you typed Control-F in the files and you typed in Trump, it would say 0 results. But then if you added a spacebar after Trump's name, it said like 300 results. And like I said, not picking sides here. Honestly, my big thing here is, outside of politics and outside of the presidency, I just think Trump is a fucking horrible person and I hate him. There's my big political take. Like, outside of politics, because I really don't know what's going on there. I'm not good with politics. My big thing here is that I just think he's a sick fuck and I hate him. He's an improvement over Biden? Not really. Because I'd rather have a guy do literally nothing than a guy destroy the country. At least he does stuff. I don't understand that position. I really don't. Because none of the stuff he's doing is good. Like, okay, he might do a good thing here and there, but he is doing harm. All he is doing is harm. And, I mean, at least during the Biden administration, he wasn't doing that much harm. He wasn't hurting as much people as Trump are. Trump is fucking bombing half the world right now. That's a real file. And, like, okay, I haven't mentioned this up until now because even though I don't think it should be, this is oddly contentious. But a big reason I don't like Trump is because of how much he's hurting the LGBTQ community. We have regressed, like, 5 to 10 years, if not more, of, like, history in terms of fighting for gay rights. And again, none of this is political for me, because I don't view any of what I'm saying as political takes, for the main reason of none of this is coming from the perspective of politics. Because I don't care if the guy in office disagrees with me politically. I have one requirement, and only one requirement, for me to not hate you, and that's don't hurt people I care about. And Trump is actively hurting people that I care about. You know what I mean? Nearly directly. Well, basically anyone that I know that is LGBTQ or poor. Like, God, the way he is fucking... You wanna know something I read recently that is directly because of him? He is considering regulating and limiting which foods you can buy with fucking, SNAP benefits. Basically, he wants to play healthy, what the fuck is it? He wants to play nutritionist and say, you can't buy things that are unhealthy. You can't buy sugary food. You can't buy soda. It's like, I get a lot of people are going to hear that and they're going to go, oh, well, that's good. That means he's encouraging people to eat healthy. But most people who get SNAP benefits are worried about whether or not they can eat at all. You know what I mean? And that doesn't even, like, get into the fact that usually healthy food is so expensive that what that actually translates to is, so you're getting less groceries. I've actually seen groceries getting cheaper in my area. Lucky. Now, to be fair, the whole thing of trying to restrict what you can buy with SNAP benefits, from what I read, it's not in place yet, and it's only going to affect 5 states. But the conversation is in the tone of, like, if this goes well, we'll do it in other states, so... I don't know. I just feel like, and this is kind of what I've been trying to get at, right, with this whole thing. I feel like even if you're a diehard right-wing conservative, like, super Republican, it's getting to a point where I don't understand how those people can like him. Because it feels like, to me, he's going against what conservatives would want. Because, like, wouldn't conservatives be really into the idea of, like, taking down the elites, or whatever they talk about? He is directly protecting the elites. Like, the real elites. Like, the powerful, rich people who hurt people. You know what I mean? I just think he is the antithesis of what literally anybody on this planet wants. That actually reminds me. I am gonna say something political, because I want to say this. I want to get this off my chest. You want to know something I saw today at work? First of all, you know how conservatives and, like, right-wing people, like, all the homophobic and transphobic ones, right? You know how they'll try to say that trans people are groomed into being trans or whatever? Which is, like, obviously really transphobic and not true, but you know how that's, like, a thing that they try to say, right? Yeah, so, on that note, today I saw a dad and a mom and, like, 3 kids, right? They came up to me to get samples. And this, like, 6-year-old child was wearing a MAGA hat. So, who's doing the grooming here? You know what I mean? Like, that child is gonna grow up with regret in the same way people who cosplayed as Christopher Columbus in the 2000s for Halloween grow up with regret. You know what I mean? Like, that's not gonna be fun for that kid to look back at. Yeah, at that point, it just starts to feel like projecting. Oh, and here's another thing. If the right hates cancel culture so much, then why are they okay with Trump, who is doing cancel culture? Because he's been going after talk show hosts who speak negatively of him. Like, the shit that happened with Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert? Wow, Jimmy Colbert, let's go. The shit that happened with Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert, I feel like should have instantly turned the right against him. And to an extent, it kind of did. I never expected to see, fucking... Okay, I forget his name, but he's, like, one of the former Fox News guys. But, like, I never expected to see him criticize Trump the way he did when that happened. Like, I can't believe it always comes back to this, but chat, do you want to know how you know Trump is bad at this point? Like how it's, you want to know how you know it's gotten bad? Like, honestly, before he died, before the night when he died, even fucking Charlie Kirk was criticizing Donald Trump and saying he was bad. To the point where he was one of the people saying that they should release the Epstein files. So this guy that the right is attempting to hold up as if he's the fucking Messiah, if even he has that perspective, I joined the stream and the first thing I hear is Epstein files. Nice. High five, man. Yeah, we're ranting about politics, but not really politically, if that makes sense. Like, we're basically just... What the fuck did I just do? What the fuck did I just do? What the fuck did I just do? What the fuck? Anyway, yeah, I feel like we talked about this way longer than I wanted to. Basically, all I'm saying is that I don't think hating Trump is a political take anymore, because I feel like no matter what your politics are, or what side of the aisle is, you're on, I think everyone just thinks he's a piece of shit now. Which, I'm glad, because that's like the one thing I want everyone to agree on. Because I think that fucker, politics aside and presidency aside, is just a creep. That's a file. Can I please beat it this attempt? No! I forgot he fucking spikes it! Ah! That stupid fucking part, dude! Why? It could have been Ove! I agree! It could have been Ove! I did not know you could do that too early. Why? IRL story, Saudi is one of the worst places you could go right now because they are heavy in slavery. They're one of the few places where slavery is still a thing. So... yeah, Saudi, I mean, I don't know if they're, like, getting rid of it as of very recently, but I don't think they are. Over in Saudi, there's, like, a very infamous thing where they have, like, a really bad slavery problem, and a lot of their factory work has been... I mean, this is why people were making jokes about how the Mr. Beast amusement park was probably created through slavery. That's what the joke was, because of Saudi Arabia. And, like, Saudi Arabia has been trying to push their entertainment industry, so they've been partnering with a lot of U.S. entertainment industries to, like, make deals with them to get them to come over to the U.S., or not the U.S., to basically come over to Saudi and do their events there. If you're a WWE fan, you know what I'm talking about, because most of their big PLEs have been happening in Saudi Arabia. And they've been doing this in the hopes of just making them more known as an entertainment producer, sort of like how India has Bollywood. And the thing is, when doing this, they'll make deals with people financially. They'll be like, hey, come do this over in Saudi. But then when they do that, they sign contracts that say, like, you're not allowed to criticize insert person here. You cannot criticize our government. You cannot bring up slavery, you know, stuff like that. Because they don't, like, it's very, like, dictatorship-y. It's basically like censorship, yeah. And, like, I'm being careful what I say, and trying to choose my words carefully and not talk too much about it, mainly because it's complicated world politics stuff that I don't understand, but that's, like, the gist of what I know. Why did I jump there? I clicked it. Oh, I died anyway. I was about to say I should be dead because I clicked it extra time and then I died immediately. bit the slope. There we go. Why? Dude. I've been on this level for 3 fucking hours. Thank God I picked a night where I have the next day off, because holy fuck, dude. No! You I'm gonna lose my fucking mind, dude. I never want to play volleyball again. When I'm done beating this and then beating it again, I never want to look at a fucking volleyball court again. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind, dude. Jesus fucking Christ. What the fuck do you mean? What do you mean? You can hear me click twice there. I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. Just like I just lost the game. By IRL stories. I did the thing. This level is a contender for most annoying medium demon to clear? No. Not even close. I'm just having a really bad experience with it. Like, I don't even hate any of the gameplay. The level's just dragging. What is the most annoying medium demon? Off the top of my head, it's probably Noel Electra. I'm so glad that... Oh, I gotta stop speaking. Every time I go, oh, I almost died, I die. No Bidu? Bidu is just really fucking boring, but at least it feels good when you do finally beat it. But I will say, yeah, Bidu is up there. I mean, I wish this discussion wasn't limited to medium demons, because if we allow easy demons, the most boring level I've ever played is Mr. Crazy Hands. Click too early. I just don't give a shit anymore. Like, at this point, it's been 3.5 hours. I'm long past the point of expecting this to just happen. You know, the thing is, too, I do still think this is a good level. It drags from zero. That's all that this frustration is. But I still have positive opinions on this. Like, even now that I'm bored as fuck and just want it to end, I commend this level a lot for how fucking fast it makes you feel. Like, the blitz in this level's name is really earned. Well, no, I hate the gameplay too, Frostwave, but I don't think, like... I think the gameplay isn't bad, it's just kind of frustrating. It's that kind of bad where it's like, it's almost good, so I don't wanna, like... You know what I mean? Like, it's not irredeemably bad, it's just not fun. There's a lot of levels I feel that way with, actually. Like, believe it or not, that's how I would describe Bloodbath. Good level, not fun. Such a weird category of level, to be honest. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, though. I'm not having even a shred of fun playing this, but I still think it's a good level, if that makes sense. I jumped early somehow off of that blue orb and couldn't hit the second blue orb. What the fuck? Bloodbath has fantastic playtesting and it's super consistent. Yes and no, because there is one part where that doesn't feel like it's the case and it's gear on. But yeah, for the most part I agree. Flew up too high. I just hate the orb in gear on, the yellow orb. Those quarter hitboxes can go fuck themselves. I completely clocked out on that run and forgot to jump. I have never been able to put into words or honestly figure out why I hate Stalemate Redux so much. Like, I've never understood it. But it clicked for me the other day. I don't like the orb part at the end. That's all it is. I don't know why I couldn't figure it out for so long, but it really boils down to I really think the orb part at the end is shit. I don't just mean gameplay, I mean like it's not a satisfying part to look at. I don't know why that ruins the whole level for me, it just does. Yeah, I've heard that enigmatic, too. That's like, I've mentioned this to people recently, and they've told me that that part's fun, and it's just like, it's weird. I went too early again? Are you kidding me? Oh my god, dude. Why did that take me 3.5 hours? And I have to beat it again, too. My god. Dude, what the fuck? I'll beat it again and then I'll give my thoughts, because I'm still gathering them, and beating it again might help. Yep. Not shocked. Oh my god, dude. What the fuck? I clicked and it just didn't do anything. I need to actually look at that and look back at that because I feel like I might have clicked early, but I didn't feel like it, so I just need to know so that I can kind of correct. So let me... I don't think I clicked early. I'm trying to see if I can see the toggle orb pulse before I click. Well, no, it's always there, so that doesn't help. I should have hit it. I should have hit it. The only thing I could think of is maybe the robot was too low to the ground to hit it. Like, maybe the volleyball was too far above me, and so it didn't line up with my hitbox. Other than that, I have no idea. That doesn't make any sense to me. Fuck did I just do? Well, I know what I did, but why did I just do that? For some reason, I clicked once, expecting one input to do 2 ball clicks. Let's fucking go! Christ. Oh my god. Fucking hell, man. We finally finished Volleyball Demon. I think... Firstly, I'm actually curious. Meh, it's about what I expected. So I think my big opinion on this level, right, is that the gameplay isn't bad. Like a lot of this level plays good. But, as an overall package, it's not fun to play everything in its entirety. Like, let me put it like this. I think, each part individually plays well, but, like, the moment you start playing parts consecutively, that's when it falls apart. I think it's like... That's the best way to put it. Like, 27 to 100 I got so quickly And then I played from 0 and I just couldn't. But, I don't know, I really, really don't hate this. I like this level. But the one thing I don't like about it is actually playing it. Doing runs is fun, but playing from 0 is abysmal. Yes, exactly. And on top of that, all of that could be forgiven if it was consistent and you beat it, but the problem is, once you get any form of consistency, it basically just becomes get to the volleyball part and either die or beat it, and usually die. So it's basically just get to 70 over and over and over and over until you eventually just win. Which is not very fun. But yeah, God, that dragged. Almost 4 hours. All of that for whatever the... This is such a shit reward for the water gauntlet. The fuck is that UFO, dude? Why would you get... Dude! That's barely even water themed. Like, give me something water related. Give me, like, I don't know. Like, give me something cool. Like, make it like, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't know what I'm expecting at this point. Whatever. Water Gauntlet done. That's a huge hurdle for the Rebeat arc surpassed. Man. I feel like it'd have been cooler if the Water Gauntlet gave something like, I don't know, let me see. I like this robot. I didn't know this was a thing. I really like that robot, actually. Wow. See, it's gotta be something like a fish, right? That's the thing. Gotta get a fish. Dude, this should have been the reward. No, never mind. That's space. That's a space helmet. Never mind. They should have done something like this, but instead it could have looked like a... No, that would work. It looks like a diver's helmet. Yeah. They should have given that for the Water Gauntlet. That's what it should have been. I mean, okay, maybe Jetpack is off limits because it's a platformer thing. Let me change that back before I forget. Maybe there's like a good ship they could have given. They could have given... I guess it's a snake. Sure. It looks like a fish to me, but whatever. There you go. Should have given that. That's what it should have been. Why is this in a chest? That should have been given for the Water Gauntlet, man. This should have been Water Gauntlet. That's what I think. But hey, what can you do? Where's my ship? There it is. Duckstep ship? Hmm. I almost don't want to end stream because I feel like I could do more. Ship 23. What's ship 23? This one? I'm not gonna do that. Nope. What's the first level in, not Halloween, in Inferno, yeah. Burned by Rexer? Oh, it's a 9-star. I gotta do that off stream. I'm not doing that on stream. I'm only gonna stream the non-demons if I have a bunch of them left when I'm done with the demons. Because I'm probably going to do, like, the Space Gauntlet and NCS Gauntlet and stuff on stream, even though those don't have demons, but other than that, like, everything to the left of World. Like, those are the ones I'm talking about. How are we doing on paths? Currently doing lava, okay. So I'm only 4 paths away from being done with all of them. Oh yeah, that's right, chat. Whenever I'm done with the Rebeat arc and we get back to grinding the Insanes, there are a couple Rebeat arc adjacent Insanes, and what I mean by that is the Rebeat arc I only have to do demons, right? I'm not worried about rebeating non-demons because I don't care about non-demons in terms of the Rebeat arc, because rebeating a non-demon is just rebeating it. The only non-demon things that matter to the Rebeat arc are the autos and 2-stars. Because before I reset my stats, I had beaten all of them. So of course I'm going to do that again. But, that being said, there are still levels that would be rebeats, even though they're not part of the Rebeat arc, because I don't need them. But that being said, Rebeat arc adjacent, we do have to do this at some point. This is something that absolutely needs to be done. So when we get back to grinding the Insanes, this will probably be the first one we do on that when we get back to it. Especially because I like High Life. Alright, yeah, I think I'm going to end stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I definitely did. Good night, everybody.